Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Last night I had a dinner with a longtime friend whose son is a hermit. It's strange that the same day on the train on my way to the press club, I was listening to the podcast of Dr. Grace Lee. My name is Yusuke Wada, and I'm your host in jFuneral.com. jFuneral.com is a division of YEY Inc. in Japan, which specializes in consulting the death industry business for Japanese and non-Japanese companies, which sees opportunity in the business genre in Japan, where the death toll will grow to 1.6 million people by 2040. Dr. Grace Lee is a neuroscientist who is a specialist in career development, communication developer, and executive coach, and more. This just happened to be the topic of my friend had in her mind. She was trying to find out an answer of what her son could do and go to work, which her son felt very lethargic and not worthwhile going most of the time. Listening to her carefully, I found out the company is playing a short-sighted, finite game, but is looking into the infinite game, as Mr. Simon Sinek says. I also mentioned that the boy needs to find why he thinks that the work isn't worthwhile going, although monotonous. Maybe that's the only reason it's not challenging enough. Both too much anxiety and boredom will destroy a good work environment and habit, which many companies lack, thus creating a loss of psychological safety structure. Let's say you're the ringer and discuss the wrongdoing of the company and talk to the compliance officer. Instead of them looking into the matter, they punish you. I've seen this in many cases everywhere in the world. The biggest question to ask is, what is a valid question to ask when people are stuck in a quagmire that you can solve with your wisdom and knowledge? In Dr. Grace Lee's podcast, she explained the goal is to ask unasked questions. We are programmed to answer questions. Finding the question is the genius. Having a right answer is smart, but having the right question is the genius. My friend was stuck in a quagmire of what he really wanted to do to help out, but this was the blind spot for the company he worked for and couldn't discuss. I told my friend that if her son isn't willing to go to work every day, why not go out and express himself to his colleagues first, since he sees the blind spot of others? And if his colleagues be the problem, he needs to get out the toxic environment and create his own work environment with people who he cares about. All of these topics, which I discussed with my friend, was related to many Japanese funeral parlors. Parlors are not aware of what's going on in their work environment. Executives are pondering how to grow the business in post-COVID era, where the market is stagnating even though many more are dying. They do not see the question of how they can improve the work habit of the employees and give a better customer satisfaction. The question here is, how can the employer give the employees a better work environment, which will lead to a better customer satisfaction, thus increasing their revenue? Many don't see the obvious situation of you need to treat your employees with respect and goodness for them to perform well, and not vice versa. It's not the chicken or the egg situation. Treat your employees with respect first. The strange thing was that my friend's son's name was the same as mine. It seemed I was talking to myself and about myself. So what's your question that'll change the playing field? And I rest my case. Thank you.